Hey everyone, back for another summary for Ghosts and the Dishonored, a Blades in the Dark campaign. So, Session 2, a little bit of strangeness. The crew continued on their search, making contact with Mr. Lamb to learn possibly where the axe route has gone. He explained that the boats haven't been bringing it in for the last few shipments like they used to, but a large sum was purchased by a couple of the nobles in the city before it began to dry up. He explains that he will give these names, but the crew needs to do something for him. His favorite stew is missing a very important ingredient, the blue shell of a beetle that is usually shipped in with the ships. He's certain it's stocked in the warehouse, but for some reason his favorite pub can't get their hands on it. He drops the name of the local manager, and the crew looks up where this warehouse is. Deciding to go with a deception heist, the crew walked in dressed as workers. With documentation, everything went fairly smoothly. It probably helped that a Rosalind Keller was there as well, and very angry with the way things were being managed. Making their way to the back, they found a bunch of crates that had been set off to the side. Their guide kind of looked it up and down, realizing what one they were looking for was at the bottom, said he'd be back with some pulleys and some men to help get it down. Taking the opportunity, the crew decided to go through the filing, trying to figure out why these food was set off to the side. Finding quite the detailed file, far too much to check in the moment, they tucked that away while the others came back to give them a hand, being able to get out of there quite easily with the goods, but they found that the container was far heavier than it should be for just some light insect food. Prying it open, breaking the box a bit, they discovered an iron arm of some kind of statue with weird arcane writing. Shrugging but tucking that away, they decided to deliver the food, get their information from Mr. Lamb, which turned out that Rosalind Keller and a noble by the name of Mark Penns were the last ones to order a bunch of axle root. They took this in stride, tucking away with their arcane prize and their information. With that, the crew went through the file and found out that a lot of this food was being saved for Mark Penns. These crates were set off to the side until he was there to pick them up. It would seem he's having a party of sorts. The crew touched base with the Deathland scavengers, trying to make a contact while figuring out what this arm is. They promised to supply them with more arcane oddities if they could help them discover what this arm was. They had them touch base with an artificer, someone specialized in understanding what relics do, and had him study it for some time. He came to the conclusion that the arm itself was a piece of a greater whole, but was of no use to the occult anymore. This sparked the crew's interest, as well as they touched base with the contact, a rich judge in the city, who was able to tell them a little about Mark Penns, the good he's doing for the city, and helping the poor, and this didn't sit well with the judge. He was concerned about being upstaged by this new noble, and asked the crew politely if they would at least ruin the art he was promising to present in his party later that week. The crew took the money and decided they need to go back for those crates to get the rest of this. This time sneaking in, they broke into some of the crates, 7 of the 9 remaining that were on the list, finding some more pieces of the statue and some strange herbs. They made their way back to their hideout to check out their haul, deciding to save the herbs until Heath had a chance to go through them. And, working to get an invitation to this party. They had succeeded, and we left off there, waiting to find out what they're going to do. I hope everyone's doing well. If we have at least 2 players, we'll be continuing November 5th. If we're too short, he'll jump a week. I hope everyone's having a great week and a good weekend, and I will see you all Friday likely. Take care.